All right. So, recently, an Imperial scout of the Imperial Navy discovered a salvation beacon, a transponder, from a ship called the Emperor's Bounty in a place called the Battleground. Now, you are somewhere on the edge of Imperial space, kind of at a rowdy frontier called the Calixis sector. And the battleground is some ancient naval battleground from some battle a long time ago, and it exists in what's called the Maw, an unstable region of warp travel that's very difficult for astropaths to navigate. And you know this because, well, you have a contact on Port Fortune. And when this was discovered, so your characters don't know the details I just told you yet, but when this information was discovered, it was handed down from a Imperial naval scout that detected the Salvation Beacon signal to, the Battlefleet Calixis command staff. And it sort of got lost there in the bureaucracy. No one acted on it. And until some lackey, a young officer, a young naval corporal, knew that a rogue trader's crew was coming to Port Fortune, and they knew they could sell the information. So tonight, you're going to meet with that point of contact and gain the data slate with the location and the information. And that's where we are starting. Port Wonder, by the way, let me just kind of give a quick rundown. You will not spend that much time here initially, but Port Wonder is a void station. It exists on the absolute edge of what's called the Drusus Marches of the Calixis sector. That being said, it is still very much an Imperial property. This is Imperial space. So people claim to revere and worship the God Emperor of mankind and be loyal Imperial citizens. But things tend to happen here that it's easier to get by with than deeper into the heart of Imperial space. And one of those things are the passings of rogue trader ships who make their way to the edge of the Coronis Expanse to, discover alien technology and things that no other Imperial citizen will probably ever see or know about. And that is what you're doing here. And it looks like a small cityscape with spires and cathedral towers from a distance as you come into port. There's a huge aquila, which is the two-headed eagle or bird, one seeing the past forever and the future going on forever, that is the symbol of the Imperium. And this huge aquila can be seen from space, coming in from a long ways off. There are numerous long piers that jut out, taking in these ships that are kilometers long. And there are all these repair yards. And on it, you have all sorts of different things to serve people like rogue traders. And you have met the contact in a place called the Court of the Dead. The Court of the Dead is a slum. It's where all of the various serfs and citizens of the Imperium stay that work this place. And let's see here. currently, in the Court of the Dead, is going on an execution. And it seems like that this has provided an opportunity for your contact. Very cleverly is trying to operate where there's plenty of noise and distraction, so that no Adeptus Arbites officer might have questions you don't want to answer. And so you're here in the streets, and there is this this woman that you can see here. She appears to be a young woman, an officer of the Imperial Navy, and you can see her standing at the in the shadows near a corner. There's an Imperial preacher standing at the head of this execution. He's yelling out. He says, there is no innocence in the Imperium. All of us are guilty. All of us are sinners in the eyes of the Emperor. Only can we be more pure than the traitors. And he points back to these people. Than the criminals. Than the people that plague our streets. And all these people are cheering and everything. And there's a small retinue of officers who are trying to just maintain order, and watch what's going on. What do you do?
Well, I see no reason not to go and meet our contact while they are diverted. Gents?
I'm just going to be the menacing-looking backup behind Ramirez. That's basically what he's going to do.
Hey, I think that sounds like a plan of action.
Excellent. On.
You should be able to control your tokens.
Alright.
And I'm going to make sure that I got this distance right. Yeah, nice. Just 6 meters away.
Perfect.
She, when you get closer, she looks around both alleyways. She has a data-slate in her hand. And she says, "Are you here on behalf of Lord Captain Darius?"
We are?
Ah, I see. And the chits then, the credits, do you have them? This would be I think an acquisition test. But you indeed do have plenty of money. That's never a problem for you.
Alright. Would that be a commerce roll, or...?
I'll say that you just have it. This is the amount of money and resources you have is like... This person has never seen anything the like, so...
Alright, in that case, Ramirez will reach into his coat pocket, pull out a bag of the required money, and maybe not gleefully watch, but bemusedly enjoy the sight of all that capital in her eyes.
Yeah, she looks at it and just smiles, and you can see that she almost has to lick, swallow some of her saliva that pools from her greed. And do you reach for the data slate, or do you hand her the money first?
Could we hand it to each other at the same time?
Yeah, so she's holding the data slate and she sees the money. What do you do?
I'll lift out my hand. The slate, my dear. The slate.
She starts to hand it to you and holds out her hand for money.
And I will hold out the money in turn and put my fingers on the slate.
As soon as you put your fingers on the slate, all of a sudden, in this hab bubble here, a sound rings out.
Those soldiers.
And all of a sudden one of the Adeptus Arbitus officers drops to the ground. And they see his head just explode into bloody pulp. Let's see. Everyone starts to scream and run around and utter havoc.
Very quickly taking the slate and giving her the money.
Alright, everybody can roll for initiative.
Alright.
That's a D10 plus agility, and then I'll roll for everybody else. 4. Give me a second. 4 plus 3 is 7. Alright. What'd you get, Caleb?
I got a 13.
Wow. Okay. Caleb got 13. What about Tanner?
11.
Tanner got an 11. And
I should have gotten an 8. I didn't put my modifier in, so it should be 8. My bad.
no problem. Okay. Caleb, you're able to act first. You see the things you see this Arbite, this officer's head just pop like a cherry, a spray of blood, and he slumps to the ground. People start to spread out everywhere as you hear gunfire somewhere up above on these buildings. And they're just in the process of like he's about to tug the data slate away.
Who would he be here in that situation? That's Ramirez, right?
Yeah, Ramirez, the Siniscal.
Our goal. All right. Well, I knew it would be bad luck to do a deal where there was already prearranged violence. So, well, I think perhaps it's a good time to vacate this area.
You're gonna try to flee.
I at a leisurely pace, I think. What are good directions for fleeing?
I'd say that you can probably make it into this alley.
Ready?
Do you do something to help Ramirez get the slate, or do you flee before he gets it?
I don't know that he needs help acquiring the slate. Does it look like it's contested?
He doesn't have it yet. This is all happening in a second.
Okay,
You know, all this happens in
I'll
real
be
time.
willing to grab it because he's got something in his other hand and I got nothing. So make use of some additional hands here.
All right, you grab the slate. You flee into the alleyway. What do you do, Ramirez?
I shove the money into her hand and book it right behind him.
All right, you also make it into the alleyway. Hans, what do you do?
I can't see who shot, right? I just know it came from this direction.
Yeah, you know it came from on top of these rooftops.
Alright, I would like to, I guess, flee after them, but keeping an eye out behind me for any fishy people following us.
All right, let's see. Of course, 2 gunmen drop down from the rooftops, putting you into melee. They are these masked people with slug throwers, rudimentary like assault rifles, archaic but effective weapons. You can tell that there's some up on the roof above. One of them immediately you hear gunfire again. Let's see here. This plus this. You hear, you start to hear gunfire as they start to fire, and immediately the corporal is slain, and these spent a full action moving, but one of them is going to get the fire, and he's going to fire at 5713.
Oh no, not me.
At this point, you can tell where they are, though.
Can I dodge? Do I have reaction options here?
You can absolutely dodge. Let's see
would
here.
like to-
I'm going to. I need to use the. He's going to use his stub automatic attack, and he's going to do it with a full aim for a full turn. And you are in range, and he's going to do full auto. And he's doing it from up above, which is another plus 20.
It was such a good life, although short. How fortunate.
He
Or not.
hits, but fascinating. It says hits, but he did a 94, which means his gun jams. So it does hit. It fires. And then it jams right away. So it does a body hit, and I'm going to roll for damage.
How does dodging work? How do I implement that?
Yes. So you go to skills, and then go to dodge. And yeah, you can use your reaction to attempt to dodge. You failed, but you also, this is just one session, and you're either going to get away or you're not. So you can also use your fate token.
I think it may be time for fate to intervene on me here, so I'd like to re-roll this one.
Sure.
This is a short session and it'll recharge. Yeah, use your fate.
All right, I dodged a little better.
Oh no. Okay, so it hits. Let's see what happens to 5713. Combat damage from a. Wait, I'm using the wrong one. Hired thug. Damage of. All right, you take 11 damage. So you'd subtract your toughness first digit and your armor from your body.
Okay, let's see. I've got.
It also does scatter, which I think.
And where would I find armor? Is that just the number under body?
Armor is in the combat tab, just across from ranged weapons, armor defense.
Defense. Well, is the number I'm looking for the number under body?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So that would only do a single damage to me then.
Yeah, with your both with being tough and the being partially a robot, like the rounds ricochet off the ground. One of them hits you in your body, but you're able to keep going. I'm looking at
Ow.
scatter because I think that does something too.
That means that he hits his friends as well.
But I've already ran out of
Hopefully.
time, so I'm not going to actually use scatter because I said that I wouldn't do that. 116, but I just want to know because I'm curious. 116. Scatter does 2 degrees of success, indicates another hit. So that doesn't do anything. Okay. And then fired, jump down, and that brings us back to Caleb.
Oh, great. Well, I think it's time to get my murder on a little bit. There's a man in between me and freedom. And so I would like to take a half action to aim at him. And then I would like to look at him really hard and attack him with my baleful eye.
All right, do it. Do it.
All right. Oh, great. I can press the half aim button. That's so handy. In range, point blank is the number I'm looking for, right?
Yep.
Press that. Single shot, semi-auto, full auto. I guess it's the thing I can do. Let's press that button.
Do all of it.
All right. So, I did that stuff.
7 degrees of success.
I looked at his leg really hard.
5713 got his fucking revenge.
Okay, 7.2. So,
And I would like to say, you cannot escape my sight.
I love this game already. I love it so much.
let's see. So, you do penetration 7. Roll your baleful eyes damage.
Oh, right. There's more buttons. Okay. How many hits was that?
That was... And you did full auto?
I did full auto.
It was 7 hits.
Ow. All right. Well, he hopefully disintegrates.
All right, and you shot him in the right leg, so he's got 2 armor. So that does 3 plus his toughness, which is 6. So 6. I'm sorry. 2 plus 3 is 5, so that cancels that. And then the next attack, though, overcomes that by 8. Let's see, 7, 8, 9. By 9. So he loses 9 wounds right off the bat, so that leaves him with 3. And then the next attack does the same thing, but minus 9 brings him to 6 in the right leg. So it does a critical hit with energy, right leg. So, bam. It says, the hired thug suffers an energy critical hit. It burns the target's foot, charring the flesh, emitting a foul stench. He screams as like this laser just like comes out of this robot person's eye into his foot. I have to pass a challenge test or I lose the foot entirely for toughness. And I succeed, so I still have a charred foot.
Excellent. And I gain the foot.
Yeah, and that's not even done yet. So now he's out of wounds, and you do another 20 damage plus 31. So I'll do every single attack, which I actually think is what I'm supposed to do. So that brings us to 3 more. So energy in a terrifying display of power as this like beam of energy just slams into this person. The leg immolates and the fire consumes the target completely. It dies in a matter of agonizing seconds. So that's your first target. And that's your turn.
Yep.
That brings us to Tanner.
Great. Invigored by the guard, the opponent that was just dropped and immolated, Ramirez is going to whip out Mr. Best Craftsmanship Hell Pistol and full auto straight into the guy in front of me.
All right.
Now, we're going to attack that. He's just pulling it out and firing, so I'm going to assume that's no aim, right?
I mean, you're doing full auto, right?
Full auto, but no aim, so just...
I think full auto takes a full turn, but if it doesn't, then you can also aim. So, let me check real quick.
Yeah, I don't think I had my weapon out, so we're gonna go no aim for now.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I appreciate that.
It's gonna be point blank. Yeah. If full auto is a full round, would semi-auto be the half round, or would it just be a single shot?
Huh?
Well, there's single shot, semi-auto, and full auto, yes?
Yeah.
Semi-auto is a full round as well.
Alright, single shot it is.
Oh,
and then, would I have a penalty for just pulling out the gun and firing right away?
No, you got it. It's fine. I know what you mean, though, but yeah. I would apply that action if you had to pull out another weapon and didn't have it, like another grenade or another gun or something, yeah.
Is it showing up for you guys?
Nope.
Alright, let's try that one more time. No aim, cement, in range, point blank, cement, single shot, cement.
There we go.
There we go. 4.6 degrees of success to the right arm.
All right, roll for damage. And you did a single shot?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah, so you would roll once. All
8
right.
damage, energy, penetrating 7.
All right, that ignores his armor, but he does have 4 toughness, so it does 4 damage. Let's see, the thug has a total of 12 toughness, so he goes down to 8 of 12 toughness. All right, that brings us to Hans.
Alright, so it's not on the technical list, but can I attempt suppressive fire on these guys up here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell gun?
Yeah. They have to succeed on a test, but you have to hit them first, so it takes 2 checks, but you're likely to win. You're also... No, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, go for it.
So I roll to attack, correct?
Mm-hmm. With your ballistics. Well, I'm sorry, with your ranged weapon, yes.
Yeah. That's suppressive fire is just a full action, right? So I have no aim. Correct.
Yes, yes.
And they're at short range, point blank.
I'll say they're at short range. Oh, they're at normal range plus 0, because that's what I gave them.
Normal range. All right. That'd be single shot, or semi-auto, or full auto for suppressive fire.
Let's say full auto. You know.
All right. Modifiers, and I missed.
Okay. Do you want to use your fate token?
Yeah. So I can roll again.
So
right?
here's the cool thing. Fate token. Well, no, because you got a minus 14, and that gives you a plus 10. So yeah. So you can re-roll. Yeah.
All right. Back to my character sheet. Tap. Going. In range. And we still fail.
Do you want to use a second fate token to make it succeed? Because you can get a plus 10. Okay. All right.
Sure.
Roll. Go ahead and roll for damage. I think.
That'd be just one hit because it just barely.
I think that's right. Yeah, you don't gain the benefits of an additional hit. I really need to update the new combat thing. End the game. Combat. Come on. Suppressing fire forces opponents to take cover. You get a minus 20. Oh, that's the effect. Minus 20 to the ballistic skill. And it's an attack. So I'll say it counts as an attack, but you only get one hit. Okay. Let's see. It says you got 7 damage, so it ignores the armor. So 12 minus 7 is 5 of 12. So you hear this person yell in pain as one of the rounds hits him, and they are going to have to succeed on a attribute test to be able to, and they fail. Okay, so that means that now they are, it says they are undercover and minus 20 to ballistic skill the next round, which is a big deal. Okay, so a few things happen. The crowds start to scatter amidst all of this, right? And they start moving around, and some of them run down into the alleyway, unfortunately. This Adeptus, right? You could. This Adeptus Arbitus starts to take a full turn just to try to get in amongst them. I think he probably doesn't even get that far. He probably gets this far. The other one is in amongst the crowd trying to maintain order in the chaos. And then, let's see, this guy right here is going to attack Ramirez. So let's see, hired thug. And he's going to use his stub automatic weapon. He's not going to aim. He's going to do it at point blank range. And he's going to use full auto. And he both misses and the weapon jams.
The Emperor's will is undeniable.
Yeah. He like puts the weapon right up in your face and it just goes... Yeah. And then this one actually already had a jammed weapon, if I recall correctly. Or no, that was the dead guy. And then they have a minus 20 to their ballistic skill that they're going to try to shoot at you all, because that's obviously what they're here to do. Someone has found out and betrayed you, and they have sent somebody in to do this work. Okay, so they're not going to get the benefits of an aim. They are in range.
I thought it was one of the guys on the roof that shot at me with a gun.
All right.
Because guys on the ground use their full turn to move.
Well, this one right here, shooting at you, misses anyways, and the other one uses his round to attempt a ballistic skill to try to unjam his weapon. And he fails and is unable to unjam his weapon. Things are going very badly for them.
Good. They deserve it.
Yeah, Ramirez is just gonna be like, please take all the time you need to unjam your weapon as he's getting ready for round number 2.
It's Caleb's turn. You only need to get through this one guy in melee to even get out of here.
Do it, man. Do it.
As the cops are showing up, you know.
So can I walk? Can I move past him? Am I being stopped from escaping?
You can take the disengage action if you choose. Disengage, break from melee to move. It takes a full action.
I think I will. I think I'll engage in just a little bit of murder.
All right.
I think that's what's gonna happen as I. That's over here. Yeah. I think I would like to full auto at this poor lad with his jammed gun in between me and freedom.
All right.
And I would like to say, please, I'm great at fixing machinery. Let me look at that, and then I'd like to attack him.
All right.
All right. Let's see. No aim is occurring. He's at point blank. And I'm full autoing. So other modifiers. Oh, look at that.
All right. Roll for damage.
Okay. How many hits would that be?
7.
11 hits. And I should also ask, how much ammunition is this expending when I do this? Still unclear on that point.
7.
7. Alright. Boop. Numbers.
All right. So let's see. You hit him in the left leg. So let's just start seeing what happens when this happens. Energy leg. Here we go. Energy critical hit and another terrifying display of power. The leg is completely immolated and the fire consumes the person entirely. And this person is just... Both of these people have just been charred by this robot man with his laser eye.
Right this way, gentlemen, if you will please.
You're just like...
I do, please. Yeah,
and then
we're
you're
just
like...
casually just walking by.
Yeah. You make your way out of the court of the dead in Port Wonder as the chaos continues behind you and Adeptus Arbitus try to regain order. You have slain the foes of your dynasty, but someone was sent to kill you today, and someone was tipped off about this information that you have. Now your characters have a lead, though, of something that someone didn't want you to have. You now know where a abandoned cruiser full of ancient technology and goods can be taken somewhere out in the warp or in the maw. So, and that is the end of the session for tonight.